Hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the Agami Show. As the title says, today we are continuing through our play with Resident Evil 4. And the theme, of course, you are listening to is Ada theme from Mercenaries mode in Resident Evil 4, one of my favorite modes of all time. The stream, of course, is gonna be starting pretty soon, so see you in a few moments as the theme finishes. It is as always a pleasure to be here, and just like I said, time to go in and play some Resident Evil. Resuming the sound, of course, and the finishing touches, of course. And we are in. Alright. Hopefully, of course, as always, there's always a problem with the controller. I don't know why, but it just happens. It decides to happen and it just happens. Let's see. Still not working? Yes, of course it's not working. Alright, let's stop it and then start it again. Alright. It was just working. I just decided to... I launched the game with it, actually, so... It's weird. Now it's working. Okay. For some reason, the game always has problems with modern controllers, especially if I'm using them wireless, which is what I'm doing. I'm using a PS4 wireless controller, one of the modern versions. But yeah, It is always a pleasure for me to go back to playing one of the most successful, famous, well-known, well-beloved titles in the video game history. That is, of course, Resident Evil 4. We did some progress. As I take a sip from my trusty, lovely cup of tea, we made some progress and we just entered through. Where are we currently? Yeah, so through the village, and we unlocked the door, the very ominous door near the church-like structure, and now we are going to be making our way towards that particular structure. Since I played the game, I know exactly what's going to happen, of course. We're going to go underground for a bit. We're going to emerge on the surface. The three blue things with the space is basically cemetery, and the objective, which is where we are going, is supposed to be the village's church. So, as I make mistakes while pressing buttons, let us proceed. More TMP. Okay. Let's see. I should probably stash the TMP ammo. I have no need for that. So we'll just do that right now. Which is funny, I don't know why I am saying that. There is no... Yeah, there is no box, I don't know why. I confused the Resident Evil 4 for the other Resident Evils. There is no box in 4 so far. Daddy Gaming says hello. Hello, brother. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. I believe, if my memory serves me correct, I can shoot these and they will do AoE damage, which is something good. The place here is going to be pretty interesting and a bit challenging, so let's hope for the best. And let's hope not to die, just like dumbasses. I like your accent, thank you very much. It brings joy to my heart when someone says these things. I view them as compliments. Much respect. Alright. I believe there's going to be a merchant nearby. We will be able to buy stuff and probably upgrade our weapons should the need arises. Now we run with the X button. Ah, there we go. Again.
Got something that might interest you.
Oh, you do, don't you? What do you have in store for me?
Selection of good things on sale, stranger.
Remember, shoot 10 or more to get your specialized gun, and I am currently working on that. I've got 6 of those blue medallions, and I only need 4 to access the pretty beauty of a pistol that my dear merchant is gonna give us. Either way, I do have some things to sell. Not the fish. I need those.
Is that all, stranger? Is that all?
Yes. The ruby.
Thank you.
No need for it. And the brass pocket watch is 10,000.
I'll buy it at a high price.
Of course you would. It's a pretty hefty jewelry. I wish someday I saw this game remastered. It is in the works. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it is almost confirmed. It is not official from Capcom, but a leak kinda confirmed that they are already working on the remake version of Resident Evil 4. Now, after that, another article leaked saying that there is some sort of a trouble with the production of Resident Evil 4, the remake, and it is scheduled to release in around 2023 or 2024. And the trouble is that they outsourced Resident Evil 4. It wasn't the inside studio at Capcom, Studio 1 or Studio 4, the ones responsible for the old the old Resident Evils and the new ones that were making it. It is the same studio that was making Resident Evil 3. Now, of course, if you've ever been, if you are a fan of the Resident Evil series, of course you played Resident Evil 2, the remake, and Resident Evil 3, the remake. And Resident Evil 2 was amazing. They did tremendous job. Resident Evil 3 kinda missed the mark a bit. It was a bit too short. It was tangled with the Resistance one that kinda probably took away from the development of it, and some of the most beloved places and things that Resident Evil 3, the classic, brought were forgotten. And of course, the title says it is in trouble, but if you look into this thoroughly, you'll realize that Capcom understands the weight of Resident Evil 4 and how big of a game it is. Actually, this game is historical. It is the game that revolutionized the over-the-camera angle. And of course, they decide, you know what? We're going to be, after having some trouble communicating with the outside company that was making the game, and they probably made some progress, seeing that the suitcase, the one that you just saw a glimpse of it, is making its way in Resident Evil 8, which is pretty neat. I love the suitcase in this game, and I cannot wait to play the modern version of it in Resident Evil 8. So I'm thinking that that's something that they finished. So they brought back the game to the studio internally, and now they're developing it internally. So I have big expectation for Resident Evil 4, and I hope that we get to see the up-to-date with the RE engine, the modern one, and I get to say, I get to see the real woods and the real feel. You see, as my stream starts, I have some rendition on the Unreal Engine 4 of the village, the first area of the game, and it is amazing. So you can imagine if it is Capcom who does this, it's probably going to be so much better. But for the time being, all we have is this version of the game, of course. This is the HD repack, and it's running pretty neatly on Windows 10 and up to date and everything, so that's good.
What are you buying?
We can tune the TMP, or we can continue working on our thing, but you know what?
Is that all, stranger?
We need the capacity,
Is that all?
and we need the reload speed. The shotgun is going to be staying with us for a while, so we're gonna leave it as is. I still am not in need of buying the map. The rifle, however, kinda looks tempting, but the thing is, for the time being, I do not need it. I can buy the TMP, but also for the time being, I'm doing good with what I have.
What are you buying?
I can no longer tune the firepower, and the capacity and firing speed are fine by me. As long as I do a good headshot, that's all we need, so of course we're gonna save the rest for the rest. Open Sesame, why of course. I've been playing Resident Evil 3, the remake, on Inferno mode recently, and to just say I am a bit confused with the controls because you run with R3 in Resident Evil 3, the modern version. However, you run with X on Resident Evil 4, so I'm hoping not to make any mistakes. And this iconic place, I mean, I can just imagine the modern imagining of this game and how it's going to be looking like. Undoubtedly, it is going to be amazing. There's a couple of villages here, well, more than a couple, so I would be needing to take care of them if I expect to be safe around here. And that's 7 out of 15. Is number 1. So far so good. Reload. loading, and I see the medal. That's 8 out of... That's 8 out of 15, of course. I'm trying to not talk so I can listen carefully and see who's coming my way. Ah, and I made the crow fly. The crows in this game do give a lot of goodies. So... Oh, it was a couple again. Thank you, Memory, for being on point. I guess I love this game that much, though. I still remember little details like this. Reloading as usual. I believe the big boxes sometimes contain snakes, so one must be vigilant. You can just strike twice and it's all going to be fine. The more ammo... I didn't want to do that or make that mistake. Oh, there's a third amulet right over here. Come on, take it easy. I don't know if you're afraid or what. It's funny that after becoming an agent, it's a series of coincidences for our dear Leon is that after the training, after doing so much, studying and everything, his first day as a policeman in Raccoon City resulted in what? In the famous Resident Evil 2 problems and, the zombie outbreak and all of those things. So he found himself entangled into all of those problems. Just want to make certain not to... There we go. I can shoot him like that and he would perish. Alright. So yeah, he was entangled in the events of the Resident Evil 1/2 with the zombie outbreak in Raccoon City and all of those things. And 6 years later, he trained and, he was recognized as the survivor in Raccoon City and everything. And he decided to become a special agent, think his special forces or in the secret service or whatever. So after doing that, his first job as a highly trained agent is actually saving the president's daughter, infiltrating this village and trying to save Ashley Birkins. No, it's not Birkins. Ashley something. Graham. Oh yeah, Graham. Which is pretty, I guess, unlucky. But also pretty lucky for Ashley because Leon is, let's just say, quite adept in these kind of things. When you see these, always shoot them because they give stuff. And the stuff you see are always needed. Sorry, brother. You held into that TNT for quite some time. Alright, and what do we see here? 3 family insignias of the dead ringers. It looks like the dial only turns clockwise, either 3 or 4 segments. Ooh, okay. So you can see, how this puzzle works, and it's also an amazing puzzle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, so basically I just need to light all of these, which is going to be not so easy. But if you do this correctly, you will turn them all on. And there is a hint, by the way. That's why I was looking at the gravestones as I was talking about Leon and all that nonsense. And there is a hint in the gravestones that you can use in order to solve this much quicker. Not be a dumbass like me. Oof, almost. One, two, three. Oh, would you look at that? I did it. Wait a second, I didn't do it? Really? What? I opened them all. Okay, so basically I guess I just need to go and see and figure out what the signs of the graves are. It's not about lighting all of these, I guess I didn't remember. It's about having the correct insignias. And the first one is going to be probably this. Twins must be buried under this grave. The insignia is a little different. Maybe they're different for all the graves, yes. So we got the Z, we got the logo, the M, we got another M, and a third M, and then a V, and a 4 M's. Okay, so Z, M, V. Let's try to light those and see if it works. Again, I love these puzzles. And it will appear that, I always had trouble with this puzzle, so I guess I just never really remembered. So, I need 3. No. I need the Z. And this. And I don't know. We'll see. Oh, this is quite the interesting one. Okay, so I just need the Z and M and V. So basically, the one at 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. Technically, these are the one that I need illuminated. Or maybe not just that one. Let me go check again. Because I am quite certain I do remember that the solution is right nearby. However, I do not remember the solution. And this is, to be honest, this is fun. This is fine and this is fun. Okay, so there is nothing there. This should be the way forward. This is where I find the rest of the amulets and also the way forward. However, I need to recheck the graves. So that's an M. That's definitely an M. And that's insignia. I don't know if that is even there or not. So we have the M, we have the, let's call it a T. Looks like a T, but it's not. A Y. That's maybe, it's a Y. Okay. So we have the M, the Y, and the Z. So Z, the Y, another Y, an M, a Y, and a Y, and another M. Oh, and a V. So basically, I guess the ones that I need to illuminate are the Z, the Y, the M, this, and the V. So 4 symbols need to be illuminated. Which makes sense, but at the same time, I might be incorrect. We will be seeing if this is the case or not. So the Z, the M, the V, and the Y. These are the ones. I am a bit confused because to the 1 o'clock, it looks like the Y symbol, but at the same time, the 8 o'clock to the left is also looking like the one we do. So that's where the confusion is going to be. 1, 2, 3. We'll illuminate this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, turn this off. 1, 2, 3. Let's go to 4 this time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, but now we need the M. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Maybe this is gonna work. So I'm trying to, okay, so if it's not this way, then maybe we'll turn off 3 and, oh, never mind. What the heck? That's it? Alright. Alright. I guess it was 3 symbols, not 4 symbols. And by turning off the 4th one, that was the unwanted one, it worked. Hey. What do you know? I don't know if that's a puzzle or... Oh no. Or not the puzzle. Okay, so... I think there's a saving room right here. It won't budge. It's gotta be locked from the other side. Understood? I will try the main church door, which probably isn't going to be opening. Yeah, it won't open. There's a round hole. Maybe something fits there.
Hunnigan, it's Leon. The door's locked. I can't get in.
Didn't they teach you how to pick locks at the academy?
Yeah. There's some sort of indentation, like something might fit inside.
Well, there's no use standing around. Leon, you have to find some way or something to get inside.
Oh, well, ain't you the master of the obvious? This is a famous quote from a Warhammer particular episode. Not a series or anything, but it's there. Okay. Ow, that hurts. I'm in a weird position, I guess. Go see, go take a dip. Tell me how the water feels, because in a bit I am going to be going back to the water. So there's one here, I know, and there's one right as I jump. Yep, I knew it. Oh, no. No, come on, Leon. We're not wasting ammo here. You're gonna be in trouble if you waste too much ammo. Okay, so let's see this. Closure of the church. Regarding the two fugitives that approach... Oh, no. The apprehension. Regarding the two fugitives, the apprehension of Lewis is our top priority. The American agent, a distant second. So they don't really care about Leon. He's just a nuisance for them. What Lewis stole from us is far more important than the girl. Oh, Lewis did something wrong, didn't he? Unless we get it back, the girl will become useless to us. We must get it back to execute our plan to the end. If it gets in the wrong hands, the world would become a totally different place than what Lord Sadler has envisioned. If my memory... I don't know. Was it the antidote that he stole? I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out as we reach that particular point. At all costs, we mustn't let that happen. Nevertheless, we're not letting go of the girl. To ensure that the agent does not get to her, I have locked the church door where the girl is being held. Anyone who needs access to the church must first get approval by Lord Sadler. There is a key beyond the lake, but it should be safe now that the Delago has been awakened by our Lord. No one will get across the lake safe. Plus, our same blood courses through the agent's veins. It'll be just a matter of time before he joins us. Once he does, there will be nobody else left that will come looking for the girl. In that you were right. Ah yes, I knew it. Let's kill it. At least he would give us something. Oh yeah. An egg. Use. So, I just got back my life. More handgun ammo. Always good. Always needed. Always handy. Oh, and I see another. Necklace. In a weird place. Come on. Come on. That's 13 out of 15. Kinda need to remember where the other two are remaining. Hopefully we do get them all. I mean, I've already got the gun, but you never know. Yeah, sit down. Don't make too much of a fuss. Right, so I believe most of the blue necklaces are taken care of. The ones that I will be needing are in another place. Okay. Oh. We are going to be fighting the Il Gigante already? Damn. I guess I need to brace myself. This is going to be interesting. Do I have a nade? Yes, I do. So much death. So much good stuff. Alright, so basically this is a boss fight. I mean, if you've been playing video games for just a moment, You know that big open places with a lot of, you know, consumables and items are just basically kind of a message from the devs telling you, you know what, get ready, there's going to be a big fight. It's interesting the fact that you can easily just startle these birds and technically not take all of this goody money. Which of course I did in the first time. I just startled them and they flew away. Didn't even care. Didn't even care. Alright. Basically I'm trying to pick up all the pickable stuff here. So once we fight, I guess I'll probably, if I go to the other side, there's going to be a big chance I will trigger the boss, but we'll see. There's a spinel. And there's 2 barrels I will break. And then of course we'll try to trigger the boss. If it doesn't trigger right here. Right here. No, not really. Unless... one of 2 things. When I'm coming back through here is when I fight the boss, or right now. I guess we fight the boss a bit later. That's why I was surprised because, well, it's a bit too early for me to fight the boss. It's fine for me. I can kill it. It's gonna be just a tiny bit, tiny bit, not so easy.
Got some rare things on sale, stranger.
You do, don't you? Well done, stranger. I see you've shot enough number of medallions. Like I promised, go claim your specialized gun in the buy screen. Don't worry about money. This one is on the house.
What are you buying?
And we get the Punisher. Punisher is a pretty neat weapon. We basically need some inventory management in order to get the Punisher. Working. I don't know. Guess I should do this. I'm trying to remember if by any chance there is a box in the game. I have no idea actually. I've completely blocked this out.
Thank you.
Oh no. Let's see.
Is that all?
Guess we'll take the treasure map. Rocket launcher. Of course not. First aid sniper scope. It's time to buy the rifle? Yes. Do I buy the rifle? No.
Is that all? Thank you. Is that all?
What I do is absolutely upgrade.
What are you buying? What are you selling? Is that all? Thank you.
Sell 2 of those. 2,300. That's a good selling price actually. But you know what? That's
What are you selling?
that's pretty good healing. And I just remembered I have 2 things I can sell. Spinel and the green cat's eye. But I think it would be a mistake to sell the green cat's eye, so I will hold on to it. That's done. Time to save. Oh, I see this. It's going to be a travel point once I unlock the other area, but for the time being, it's empty. Now, speaking of which, let's equip our pretty neat weapon. Okay, so how do I unlock you? Looks like a gate securely shut. Wait, I can hear something growling on the other side. It's all coming back to me because, well, you need to see villagers here because they are the ones that are going to be letting El Gigante loose, so they will trap me or try to trap me here as I'm coming back, I believe. Definitely. So, once we come back through here, we will fight the boss. Which is neat. Cannot wait. Okay, so since we made some space, I believe we should just do some management. Actually, all of this is fine. I've got basically a bit of room. I'm just waiting for another red herb in order to combine these two. So, technically I do have enough power. Not enough space, not power. I was looking at the gun and thinking about the power. Let me examine this for a bit. Punisher. This 9mm handgun will blast a hole through 2 enemies. Interesting, isn't it? Firepower level 2. Firing and all those things are a bit up. This is handgun, standard 9mm handgun. When are we going to be unlocking the Matilda? Zamina says, hey, welcome. How are you doing? Are you having a nice day? And welcome to my humble domain and my humble stream. Alright. These done, we need to go. Is this another quick time event that I would probably inevitably die on? Yes, it is. Let's see if I am lucky enough not to perish with the quick time events. Yeah, I knew it. It's always going to happen. As long as the prompts on the screen doesn't correspond to the ones in the controller, it's going to be a tough challenge. I don't have X and A. I have triangle, circle, and all of the classic ones from the PS4, or the PlayStation anyway. Alright, here it goes again. Oh, I did it. What do you know? You get the Matilda after beating the game once, I think. Really? I don't know if maybe you're confusing, because, so, Leon's trusty pistol that you usually start with is called the Matilda. Maybe you're confusing with another weapon, but I am almost certain. By the way, I finished this game a lot of times, of course, but I'm just not being able to remember because it's been a long time since I played, but I would be lying if I said maybe this is the Matilda, but at the same time it doesn't look like it. This is the Punisher. It's named Matilda directly, so I guess we'll see. Or maybe it's going to be sold by the merchant. Either way, we will find out about all of these things pretty soon. And this place is quite the interesting one. I see the traps, by the way. Sit down. Trigger them? Not really. We needn't trigger anything now. This area is booby-trapped, and I probably should be a bit cautious. Oh, you're in a convenient place. Okay. Alright. Alright. It's fine by me. There's a snake. See if we can kill the snake. No, of course I can't. Of course I can. Are you preparing for Resident Evil 8? Of course I am, dear Tarak. And you know what I am also planning to do? Probably some sort of a podcast thing with you, so we can discuss, you know, Resident Evil 8 and the tall vampire lady and all those things as the date for the game nears, so hopefully we'll talk about all of these things. Come on. These guys are so annoying sometimes. Well, what's more annoying is me not being accustomed to the controller schemes. Either way, they're both decent guns. Of course they are. TMP is quite good. I don't know if you've been following, but yeah, the tall vampire lady, also known as Lady Dimitrescu, is of course the big sensation currently on the internet. For the obvious reasons, the thirst reasons. But I would like to talk about this a bit. I don't know what's the direction, I don't know what's the story, but I don't know. As a series veteran, I guess we have some things to talk about this. She's definitely charismatic. That's a good thing. But is she scary? From what I've seen, I don't know. Oh, you'd be dead. Nice. More eggs for me. TMP, ammo. Of course, it's a character with two big bazingas. Yeah, that's the thing that I am thinking about. So number one, that's a Resident Evil. We all know that these characters are going to be going through several stages of metamorphosis. So we're going to see how her transformations are, and I guess they're going to be ruining her image, of course. But at the same time, I don't know. Will she be as iconic as the Nemesis, for example? I don't know. Many questions, many things to talk about. Yeah. I guess the kick prompt disappeared at the weirdest place ever. Come on. You're making me waste so much. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I also wish that they would bring the powerful knife. You know, this one, that is. So you can do this kind of combo where you drop the zombies on the ground and you shoot them. To be as efficient as possible, and yeah. It's gonna be tough to... It's gonna be tough to aim on that snake. Since the hitbox is so small. I guess I'm gonna be detonating this. And moving forward. Oh, they're coming back. And that's why the Punisher is such a good weapon. And such a good thing to get. By shooting those blue medallions that you find throughout the village. Because, well, you get a gun that pierces, gets 2 villagers, and sometimes get a lucky crit like that, exploding there. Oh, hi. So, use this. And probably use this. A nice grenade to take care of it. Nothing will be like Nemesis. Even the Nemesis would not be like Nemesis. For that I agree with. I was talking about this earlier with the remake of the new Resident Evil 3. They kind of missed the mark with the Nemesis. I was expecting something more fearsome. And even though the character was there, the design was there, and it's just that they missed so much things on it. I was expecting him to follow me through save rooms. I do remember reading about this, that they will always be there. And at the end of the day, the tyrant from Resident Evil 2, Mr. X, was much better. Because he was always there, he created such an amazing atmosphere and pressure. Compared to the Nemesis, with his few scripted places that he pops on from. I guess that's why I am hoping good things are gonna come from Capcom taking back the development for the remake of Resident Evil 4. Instead of leaving it at the hands of the people that made Resident Evil 3, the remake. Because outsourcing sometimes is not going to be doing good. It would be doing more harm than good for your game. Right, so this is kind of a complicated-ish area. There's a lot of things to do here. And I do remember not triggering those traps is much better than triggering those traps, because you'll always be encountering zombies, and like I did just now, you'd be wise of me to just lure zombies to them. Oh, I keep calling them zombies. They're not. They're just lovely villagers. Nice, peaceful villagers. Farmers and herders and all those things. I'm just an outsider making bad decisions. Once you start mixing zombies with this of the sexiness of vampires, things start to become outlandish and not fitting the universe. Well, to be honest, Resident Evil 7 and 8 don't really fit that much into the classic Resident Evil universe. If we think, truly about this, the only connection in Resident Evil 7 is that it takes place in the same universe and we have some familiar faces. That's all there is to it. But if you try to compare the two, you will see no resemblance whatsoever. Well, there are some elements, of course. After all, it's still kind of a Resident Evil. And, I don't know. I like Resident Evil 7, but I don't like it as much as the old games. For that, I admit. It's a fun game. It's a good direction into the series after Resident Evil 6. It's a nice reboot, and it's a coming back to the roots, which is scariness and everything. But if you say that that's a 100% Resident Evil game, no, that's not really. I mean, the Resident Evil 8 has so much vibes from other games like, I don't know, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, especially Bloodborne, than Resident Evil. The only Resident Evil stuff you see are maybe the suitcase, which is reminiscent, of course, of this suitcase, and some other few things that connects it with Resident Evil 4. Other than that, if you don't see the title, you would swear that's a totally different game than the Resident Evil series. I liked it too, but it's nothing like the RE of old days. RE7 should have been a new IP or a spin-off of RE. Yeah, so basically it's like, okay, they were trying to reboot the series, but at the same time, they didn't want to lose the high caliber of the name of Resident Evil. So if you try to compare, there's no comparison. But that's the deal, is that if you go into the lore of the series, it didn't start in 7. The deviation from the classic RE formula, because it started with a virus and a zombie outbreak, and it went straight to parasites / a plant underground in Resident Evil 5, parasite in Resident Evil 4, and a plant in Resident Evil 5. and of course, the fungus in Resident Evil 7. So as you can see, Resident Evil 6 here, it didn't, I don't care. It didn't have anything. It was a joke, let's just face it. Just some zombies, just some, they didn't advance the story at all in Resident Evil 6. What they did is that they just create some sort of a low-budget action movie, translated it into a video game that ruined the series. So, yeah, we have now Parasites, and that kind of connects because the Nemesis is based on a parasite, actually, and that has been reworked in the remake of Resident Evil 3. So basically, they're trying to link the entire story together. So if you think very hard of it, actually Resident Evil 7 isn't that remotely disconnected from the series. It's like there's a big gap between Resident Evil 4, 5, 6 and Resident Evil 7. Because there are 2, 3, I think, I don't know, 3, 4 games between Resident Evil 6 and 7. You know, there's the Revelation and Revelation 2, for example. And Resident Evil 7 is much more closely knit and linked into Resident Evil Revelation and Revelation 2 than it is to the classic Resident Evils. Because actually, that ship that you play on in Revelation actually is the one that crashed on the bayou, where the Baker's family is. However, that's all in the past. Where our talk is going to be Resident Evil 8. That's where we're going to be talking and discussing on a later date, as we figure this out. Is what's the story behind Resident Evil 8? What's the deal with the vampire stuff? That's weird, to say the least. These are things that I want to ask. So what we know so far is that Mia and Ethan, which I didn't save, I didn't care one bit for Mia. She's a backstabbing B, big B. You know, she's undercover, she was hiding what she did, you know, from Ethan and everything, and I never liked her, and I saved Zoe. I saved Zoe, and yet that sadly isn't the canon. It is not. Even though they did rework the story, and now Zoe is kind of fine, she's alive and everything, but still, I never liked Mia. But it would appear that they had a son or a girl, whatever, and this cult, that village, has abducted that girl. Kind of reminiscent of Resident Evil 4, where Ashley has been abducted. So that's what we know. So basically Ethan is going to that Lady Dimitrescu mansion or castle in order to uncover where their daughter is. Please die. Don't waste my time. That's all I know. What does Chris has to do with this? Chris Redfield? And, you know, what's going to be the story? No idea. I don't know. I mean, they're going to be explaining the entire thing. It goes without saying. Oh, I knew there was going to be a snake. I saw a snake. It disappeared into the ground, however. I got him. Nice. Give me an egg. More eggs. They tried to ride the hype of the Silent Hill PT. Indeed it did. They did. And I am so grateful that they did, actually. It was such an amazing thing that, you know, that PT teaser did. So, I am so grateful that they decided, you know what? We're going to be going into that direction. Once they saw the trailer, once they played it, they knew the greatness of it. And I am so grateful that they did. It worked so well, number one, and it worked so well for the VR experience of Resident Evil, which we would probably never experience anyway, but still. As a VR, it works beautifully. And as a game in general, the atmosphere was just there. Huh. So I have a shed. Oh, this is the boss fight, isn't it? I used to know of a way to deal with this boss fight. Makes it easy, but of course I've forgotten. It involves you know, throwing the harpoons in a particular manner, but yes, of course I did forgot. Well, I'm glad they went for that instead of following the direction. Man, RE6 is such a big missed opportunity. You know me, I played that game multiple times, and I am not one of those 100% haters because I see some potential. Instead of just doing those classic campaigns with Leon and the girl that Helena Harper, and the Chris slash whatever the guy who was with him, and then of course Sherry Birkins and the son of Wesker, I don't know his name, and then of course the Ada campaign. All of those are way too much stretching. They could have just done an entire game with one of those characters, or maybe just Leon and Ada. I don't know why. I mean, the Resident Evil 4 is basically Leon and Ada. So why did they decide to cram so much stupidity in RE6 is just beyond me. Why did they decide to make it such a huge... But at the same time, you know what? At the time, the co-op kind of, you know, gameplay side was really, really booming. And of course, they decided to ride that wave and it didn't work out for them. So, I am very happy that Capcom turned and did it at 180 or 360 degrees or whatever, and they did what they did. Oh, here's the other cop. Goodbye, other cop. I preferred RE6 over RE5, had really high hopes of RE5 after how good RE4 was, but it just missed the mark for me completely. Yeah, I'm glad that you liked RE6. I mean, I saw potential actually, just like you. RE5, I don't know, if you played it alone, the AI with Sheva was just a disaster. You needed someone else to play with you. And I liked it. I can't be one of those to tell you I didn't like. I'm hugely biased towards the Resident Evil series. I would play every Resident Evil title, even the most bad ones, like, you know, RE6 and 5. So I cannot say I did not like Resident Evil 5. I did, actually. But have I played it as much as Resident Evil 6? No. I actually liked 6 more than 5, just like you said. Now I'm thinking of it. I don't know, maybe because it has more characters, more playtime, and the mercenary mode was good. But at the same time, ever since 4, basically, ever since this one that I'm playing currently, just the series as a whole just started to degrade and go into a direction that they shouldn't have been going to. The answer. But yeah, they took the form and renovate. The answer is market department. Yeah, the marketing department kind of ruined Rare Capcom, and I am so glad that actually they are taking that back and they're making steps, they're ensuring that they do some quality stuff. At least they have that to, you know, into their... I'm glad to see, you know, old games resurfacing, like Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry 5 was amazing. They really did a good job. You know, it's much better than the MC, that's to say the least. And I don't know. We'll see with The Village. RE8 The Village. We know what the games are they doing, and we know that they decided that, like, they understood that Resident Evil is actually a huge title. And they are deciding, as I see that they opened a new portal, I think they're focusing on the RE title, the, you know, the brand of Resident Evil. They are taking it seriously. There's a series coming, there's a movie coming, and I hope the movie is going to be good, or the series, whatever. I seriously hope that they're going to be good. I am sick and tired of stupid stuff that they are coming out with. I'm hoping that everything's going to be fine. Have you played Gaiden on the Game Boy? What do you mean by Gaiden? Ninja Gaiden? If it is Ninja Gaiden, yes. If it is something else called Gaiden, that I have no idea actually. Or maybe I played it and I just do not remember. I'm not sure. I have a feeling they will screw things up somehow. Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I highly doubted that Resident Evil 8 is going to be a screw up. Why? They're just following the formula of 8. And 8 was well received. So 8 is not going to be a screw up. What's going to be a screw up, and hopefully they are rectifying this, is that the remaster of this game, Resident Evil 4, was going to be a screw up. And it would appear that they kind of did, rectify this. And they are currently working hard in order to not release a disaster. Especially for Resident Evil 4. This is not a game that is light. This is not a game that is to be taken lightly. Resident Evil 2 remake was really good. But Resident Evil 4 needs to be actually even better. Because this is a history game right here. They can't just screw it up. Okay, so I only have one green herb. Of course we're going to be saving. No way. I've been playing this game for 3 hours already? Interesting. Alright, so... the lake. Our next destination is the lake. Sadly, of course, we ran out of time for today, and I will continue and do the boss fight here tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will hope to see you tomorrow, of course. But from what I see, shit is none to make this, I don't know, between the old RE story and the new one. Well, that's the thing, is that you can't, it's like it evolved the story. It's one story, actually. I'm just curious to understand where Resident Evil 8 is. I want to see how are they going to be linking it with 7, actually. We had the mold in 7. But what are these creatures that we are currently seeing in 8? That's the link that I want to have. Like I said before, when I was talking earlier, it's actually all the same story, And I just, as I was talking about it, it just came back to me. It's all connected. It's all connected, sadly. Resident Evil 7 is connected to Resident Evil Revelations. Revelation is connected to the old Resident Evils. It's just that they advanced, or the story started being moving and advancing into, let's just say, a not so good territory since Resident Evil 4, since this one. Resident Evil 4 already doesn't feature zombies. It features normal villagers infected with parasites. So as you can see, the departure from the original classics started from 4. And the degeneration into just an action game is from Resident Evil 4, actually. That sucks. But at the same time, what can you say? How to explain the difference between the two worlds? That's the thing, there's no two worlds, there's just one world. That's the deal. I guess you're talking about Resident Evil 8, I'm hoping. Because like I said, Resident Evil 7 is well explained within the Resident Evil universe. So, yeah, we want to know what Resident Evil 8 has in store for us. So, yeah, like I said, and of course, like you are saying, is where is the connection? Vampires and werewolves is weird. It's just a weird departure, like I said. It's going into fantasy land for some reason. And as I don't know, if you've seen the trailer, of course the vampires lady, the children of, or the daughters of Lady Dimitrescu, the tall lady, they make sense because they have kind of the same powers as Marguerite from Resident Evil 7. They control bugs or they become bugs. So that's basically kind of the same thing. But We have no idea what Lady Dimitrescu is. We don't know where are those werewolves. And me and Anise, we were talking about this, and we both are hoping that Chris Redfield is not going to turn into a werewolf. That will be serious bonkers. We will be laughing so much. It would be a disaster, to be honest. I mean, from punching a big boulder in Resident Evil 5, in a volcano, into turning into a werewolf into Resident Evil 8, that's going to be a new, I don't know, a new horizon for Chris Redfield. I don't know, maybe next he's going to be the one fighting Godzilla and King Kong in the upcoming Kong vs. Godzilla movie. Who knows? In the sequel. But, yeah. Has a different tone, of course. He will turn into a furry. Yeah. I mean, seriously, man. There is I don't know if you've seen the picture, but there is a picture with Resident Evil 8, the village, and there is Chris's face, which is split into, the classic split. But instead of a shadow or the Terminator kind of thing, you have a werewolf shadow in his face. And that got us into a weird kind of universe. Maybe it's just our imagination, but coming from the Japanese, I don't see why they wouldn't do that, actually. But yeah, as my internet has started dropping frames, time for me to say goodbye and see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here, Tarak, and we will talk about this. We'll definitely talk about this in depth in some sort of a podcast or whatever. Let's just do a video, whatever. Just do a YouTube video, and we'll see. Oh yeah, Zamina, thank you for being here with me and for talking about Resident Evil. And be sure to come back here and tune in as I fight the big fish. So yeah, 34 dropped frames. Yeah, time to say goodbye. So yeah, see you guys when I see you.